Hey all, Chambord Dave here. So friends, tonight we're going to show how to disassemble and reassemble the tension mechanism on a closed cam system such as the Legare and the Chambord knitters. So in order to do that, we've got to be very careful with the settings that we've already have on the machine. And to take this apart, we need to remove this tension bracket here and this brass nut. Now this nut is important because depending how far it screws in or out will determine on whether or not this adjustment screw is parallel or not to the camshell. If it's not parallel, then as we move the brass nut up and down with the screw, it's going to jam. So it's really important that this screw is parallel when we reassemble it. And in order for it to be parallel, when we unscrew this nut, we have to be able to screw it back in the same number of turns that we unscrewed it. That's why I marked this little arrow on it here. So when we unscrew it, we can count the number of turns to come out. When we put it back in, we can screw it in the same number of turns. So now that we've done that, the first thing we need to do is remove this tension bracket. And there's two screws holding it. We remove those two screws. And now this screw is free to come out. We just unscrew it all the way. There we have it, removed. This is an assembly in itself. On the older machines, this knob is actually pressed onto the screw, so it's very difficult to remove. In the Chambord machines, there's actually a little tiny set screw that you can unscrew, and then the knob will come out. This will come out, and there's a little spring inside here to keep some force on it. So we set that aside. Now we mark our brass nut with an arrow in the upright position, and we count the number of turns to unscrew it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the V-cam will come right out, and we have it like that. If we need to polish the sliding surfaces for the needles, we can remove the key by taking those two screws out. We can then polish the surfaces, put the key back in, and it's ready to reassemble. While we got it apart, it's a good idea to clean out everything on the inside. When it goes back together, we slip it back in like so. We bring the pointer back up so that it aligns with the hole, and we put our brass nut back in. Again, here we start with our arrow in the upright position. Now we're going to screw it in and get it started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. And it should slide up and down. Now we put our screw back in. As we're screwing the screw in, this bracket should sit just nice on the camshell. If it tends to sit too far away or it's jamming in there, dragging, then we know we haven't got this brass nut screwed in the right number of turns. So we screw it down until our holes line up here. Put those screws back in. And if everything is right, then these screws should be able to be screwed in snug. If when you screw them in, this screw doesn't turn afterwards, it's because this isn't in the right number of turns and your screw is cockeyed like that and it's making it jam. So it should run from all the way at the bottom all the way to the top freely. And there you have it. Simple as that. See you next time.